Hello, Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and this is the best of the live shows. Hello, Amber Dark. How are you?
Hello. I'm fine. Thanks.
Yeah, so it said on Skype that you're in Romania. Is that true?
Yes, it is. And actually, you do know me.
I
Uh,
do.
yeah, we did a little business back in the day with some low gold, if you recall.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, 14 at the time.
Mm-hmm. So you were a gold farmer back then?
Something like that, more or less. I was curious, what did you think about selling stuff in-game in these times, nowadays?
Nowadays? Like as opposed to the old days?
Yeah, in the old days you could easily sell basically everything off, but nowadays it seems quite a little hard, and I've gotten a little interested about this recently. I don't know, I just want to earn a little something on the side, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think
It's
that
not working as it was anymore.
I think that the glory days of selling intangible goods in video games is over. I think that anyone getting into that industry right now has a huge uphill battle, and for two reasons. One is that the market is absolutely saturated, and the other reason is that the game publishers are directly combating it, and they work very hard to combat it, and it is. It's they've been very effective with that. Diablo 2 decided not to fight it; that they embraced it, or Diablo 3, I mean.
Three, yeah.
And with
Yep, it's not working. I tried Diablo 3 and I'm basically
mhm,
making, I don't know, $50 a week out of it.
mhm,
It's just a
mhm.
joke.
Well, yeah. So, you know, if you if you want to make okay, so the only advice that I'd have for you is that it has to be legit. Is that you can't do it in a way that violates the terms of service. And in Diablo 3, the heyday is definitely over for that. There were a lot of people that were making thousands of dollars a week. I could probably cite at least 10 people I've talked to that made $20,000, $30,000 in the first month of the game. But they're not making that kind of money anymore. They're like making, maybe 150 a week now or so, and so it's a dead market, and they are not they're not pursuing it so much anymore, and there's not as many buyers either. Um, the I can't think of there are some other games that have been on the market um, that have had legit sales, and there's like Second Life, and there's Entropia, and both of those, there are people who make a living in the game, but they're older games, and it's a very saturated market. The only key to making a lot of money in a game these days is to be right at launch and
Yeah.
have stuff for the big desire that happens right at launch. And I can't think of any games that are coming up where they're going to support that directly. You'd have to be you'd have to be violating the terms of service for the game. I am working with one game publisher that is going to be doing player-to-player transactions, and we're going to help facilitate that to make sure that the transactions are safe and everything. But it's going to have to be done with a lot of study and everything on how Diablo 3 was both successful and how I think that was our biggest failure with it as well, because all the farmers came in at once trying to sell everything, and the competition was just outrageous, and the hyperinflation just exploded. So,
Also, I wanted to ask you, is there any way to compete with farmers in general? I mean, I'm just one guy, I can't play non-stop and I'm not botting or anything. so
Mm-hmm.
it's quite impossible for me to compete for the same prices and the same gold amounts anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It was quite easy to sell stuff in the past, but nowadays I'm just
Mm-hmm.
sitting there.
Right. So here's the deal. So in the United States, we have a cost of living, and there's a lot of people who in the United States do not engage in this kind of stuff. I don't know. Is the American dollar worth a lot in Romania?
Not really.
Not really. Mm. You know, in China, it's the American dollar goes a long ways, and because it goes so far, they can hire really cheap labor. And because of all that cheap labor, they can then, offer prices that you can't compete with, and whether you're doing it legit or not. And so that is most definitely an issue of, um, you know, I don't know. I think that you have to think now that this era is over. And so if you want to stay in the video game industry, you have to think of where is next, what is next, and that's takes a lot of vision and a lot of luck.
Yeah, and what do you believe it's next?
Well, I am not 100% sure. I think that there are. I mean, one thing that I'm trying right now is I am trying a video guide for War Z. And it'll be something where there'll be a main War Z survival video, and there'll be a whole bunch of links on the video, a whole bunch of annotations. And you'll choose that one to go to another category like weapons or something like that. And then it'll show all the different weapons on there. You'll click on the one, and that video will show you in the game how to use the weapon, and what it's used for, what its power is, and if it can be used for defense and stuff like that. And that if I were selling the game, it would help drive sales of the game, but it also is ad revenue, because there's advertisements that pop up on all of my videos. But as far as obtaining success in that area, there's very few people that are making like over 100,000 a year doing gameplay videos on YouTube. I've heard of some other people trying as personal trainer type thing. Getting paid like $20 an hour to work with somebody and teach them how to play a game better. That violates one of my principal rules of business, which is whatever you're producing must be automated and replicable. You must be able to replicate it. If you're doing personal training, it requires, you can't get that hour back, or you can't replicate it over and over again, unless maybe you filmed the whole thing and then you put up the video, and you can actually charge people for videos on YouTube. You can actually rent videos. I've never tried that, but I know it's possible. And then you could off your $20 that you made doing that one guy for an hour, you could then for $1 another person can watch it or whatever. So, and maybe you'll get 500 people that'll watch it, so you make $520 for a couple hours work. But that's all theory and everything. I have not tested that. I don't know that to be true. It's just some ideas, some potential that I see in the market. So the biggest way to find out what's needed and wanted is to go into the forums for the games and see what people are complaining about that they need, that you can provide.
Yeah, but usually game developers will just copy it. As you said in, I don't know, you said it the last one of the last 3 videos. You said that everything we make, a video developer will just copy it. So what's the point of making it?
Well, you're thinking that they'll copy every single thing, and they won't. And so this is where it comes into looking at a niche. And so So let's just say that I'm looking at stuff, and there's I don't know 100,000 people that are looking for whatever, and I think I can create that. Well, I may create that and take a chance that it's too small of an issue for the game developer to worry about, and but it's big enough in order to provide some volume of people coming through wanting it that I can make some money at it. So it happened to me several times with EA. We instituted things, we developed things, we created things that were really great for the players, and then they turned around and did it. The whole thing of how some games allow you to use currency in the game to buy game time, and like EVE Online does that, and there's other games that allow you to do that, and we pioneered that. We started that back in Ultima Online. There was nobody that was doing anything like that, and we were doing bumper sales of game codes for. We'd sell like a 30-day game code for like $1 million gold, and a 90-day code for 2.5 million. And that $1 million gold, so that 30-day game code cost like $12.50, I think it was, and then we would turn around. So we would, I would buy the code, and then I would sell it to somebody in game for $1 million gold, and then that $1 million gold was worth about $25 to $30. And so I paid $12.50. I spent 15 minutes of my time, and then I posted on auction up on eBay that $1 million gold, and it would sell for about $30, and I would double my money every time through. Well, that would be, that was something that they weren't doing, and they didn't do that exact one, but, other video game publishers saw that and picked up on it and replicated that. So, it's okay to make something and be good at it and do it and have other people copy you. Because by being there first, you have the biggest foothold in the market. And as long as you have really good customer service and everything, you'll have people come back to you over and over and over again, even if they have other options. And they'll do it because they like you.
Yeah.
And so that is maybe one way to look at it. Is that we used to sell Runes of Magic game codes long time ago at another company I was at, and we fought after that contract because there were so many people complaining about the customer service that they were getting in the game. And so we knew that if we could sell the exact same product and we could offer a lot better customer service, that we could offload some of their customer service cost, but at the same time we could capture those customers because we were able to get stuff resolved so much quicker than anyone else, and than the actual game company. And in fact, we do that with EVE Online right now. Typically, when someone has an issue, we're able to get it resolved probably 3 times quicker than doing a petition for an issue. And that's part of why people buy from us, because when they do have a problem, they want a real person to help them. And so, maybe think of it that way. Think of how you can maybe do the same thing, but you can add value to it that would cause people to want to use you, even though you're offering the exact same thing at the exact same price, or maybe even more. We've sold product at above retail before. So if you can figure out what to bundle with it that makes it more valuable.
They think you're secure, right?
What's that?
They do that because they're valuing safety with you.
Well, that's part of it. They know that we're really anal about our payments coming in and people's safety, and we call people all the time, and we'll call them and say, hey, did you make this payment? And they'll be like, what payment? So people are very grateful for us taking those extra steps. But, I guess that, can you tell me one game company that you think of that has an awesome reputation for customer service?
Oh, none.
Yeah, none. I think the one that's closest to any of them is Blizzard. Blizzard probably has the highest
My God, no. No.
Well, in my opinion, I think they do, but you know,
Small game developers have better customer service than large ones because they have fewer players, and especially if the game is new, they will keep their customer service top notch.
so they need you in their game for them to earn their living. Whereas the bigger companies, they don't give a crap about you. You are just a number. You're not a person. So if you can take that customer service of saying, okay, I'm going to treat you like a person, a human, somebody I care about, as opposed to somebody who you're just a number. Oh, you don't have enough dollars to spend? Get the hell out of here. You know, then you know, you may be able to build a clientele or marketplace. So I can't tell you what it's going to be doing, though. So you have to just try things, and if you think you can get any traction, then try running with it. So,
Okay.
okay.
See you around.
Yep. Thank you very much for the call. Take care.
You too.
Okay. So. Okay, well, that was interesting. So, you know, going way back, he probably was back when I was actually doing stuff that violated the terms of service. Now that you've made it this far, can I interest you in another video? You know, in the upper left, I talk about the future of translation. You remember Star Trek? You remember, I mean, of course you remember Star Trek. You know what it is. The communicator badges, you know, I think that those are going to become reality in the next 10 years. You know, we won't have necessarily starships that we're communicating with, but it will do the translations like was shown in the TV series. So I'm looking forward to that, and that's my prediction. I'm talking about it there. So in the upper right, what the fast? You know, this is an older video. Look at that, I have hair. And in that video, I actually show how what the fast works and why it is so good for anyone who is playing like a Twitch-based game that has any lag, or even not a Twitch-based game but you have extreme lag. This can help because it actually makes a more direct route for you to get to the game server, thus reducing lag. And I explain how it works there, and in that video also has a link on how to get it, and they now offer 30 days free trial. So you might want to check that out if you have any lag issues. You know, in the lower right, I have a little War Z action there. It's in the dark. That one is kind of hard to see, but you know what? That is when it's most tense. So if you like War Z stuff, check it out. That'll link to my playlist. And then in the lower left, you know, I get all kinds of people who ask me all kinds of entrepreneurial questions. And that one talks about a teenager who's looking to start out. You know, does he do school? Does he complete school? Does he start working on a job right away? Does he start with making a new company right away? And I try and go through telling about how I got started and what things I would change, and maybe how he can do it better. So, thanks for watching. Enjoy this music on the way out. I'm Marky Dragon. Take care.